Alright, we're going to try this here. Spyderco Para 3 Magnacut cut test cardboard. We're try to see if we can't get through this stack of cardboard right here. This is, I have no idea. Not regulation what some, but I can do the conversions to get a rough estimate based on everybody else's cut tests. I've already done 2 knives, so I have a bunch of numbers. So we'll do this and see how it goes. This knife right here, Kershaw 20 CV, did 446 cuts. Lost Teeth Porcupine 14C 28N did 299 cuts, where I couldn't cut paper in the same motion that I'm cutting the cardboard straight down. And I don't only do it in a 1-inch section. I'm going to take that off right now, and then we'll proceed to the cutting. This is a fresh blade with 3, this is the 3rd sharpening. And we're going to tape it off just like this. Do a 1-inch section. This is really scientific. Just a data point. That's all it is. Gives me some kind of comparison. Keeps me busy. And we're going to do right there at the tip. That should be about 1 inch. A little bit more there. And I don't have a number which I think this will do, but I think it'll get closer to that 20 CV, honestly. So we'll see. Just using a push cut motion like this in that section right there. And this is, let's see, make sure that's about 1 inch. Yep. So we got 1 inch right there. Hopefully this doesn't take too long. And here we go. I'm just gonna cut and mark. Each board is 17 cuts. Sometimes it crushes like that, so I gotta pick it up, but I'm trying to cut it off the side of the table. That way I don't interfere with actually touching any other medium to actually dull the blade, just with the cardboard. So 1 board, 17 cuts, and I gotta mark that real quick. And obviously, if I did this with the whole blade, the whole length of the blade, this would take a tremendous amount of time. That's why we limit it to this 1-inch section, just to give an idea of what it could take. It's just an arbitrary number, but it reduces the amount of variables in this very unscientific test. That's why. I think I actually did 20 on that one. Yeah, I did. So on this next board, just to keep it consistent, I'm only going to do 14 cuts. That's just for my benefit, so I know how many boards I cut, because I'm each hash mark represents one board, and I can tally it up at the end. Got carried away on that other board. Feeling pretty good. I'm not even gonna check it yet. I won't check it till a little bit. So the 20 CV knife, Kershaw, like I said, did 446 feet. That was 35 boards. So each board is 12.75 feet. Sometimes I'll just do this because cardboard's full of glue and other abrasives, and it accumulates on the edge of the blade, and will slow it down no matter how sharp it is. So I just do that every once in a while. This is awesome. Shit. Am I in frame? Yeah, okay. I did an extra on that one because I did 2 that cuts off the halfway, so just to even it out. Doing pretty good. Hope this isn't too long. We're at 10 minutes, but that's okay. Had to readjust the tape there so I don't end up going past that section. There we go. This is a very nice, comfortable knife to cut with, I'll tell you that much. As you see, I'm just going in this motion. That way it's a push cut all the way through. I'm trying to eliminate movements like this, all the variables I can do in this unscientific test. But I'll compare the data. Like you said, I already told you the numbers for the other two knives and the steels, and they were right on with other people's tests. And what this does, tells me a couple things. Tells me how well I could sharpen versus the other tests and the people sharpening. Tells you how sharp I can get the knife consistently. Tells me how good the heat treated on this knife is if the numbers stack up to other people's numbers, which I'll have to do a little math just because I said about the cardboard and the thickness, but and then it just gives me an idea of how quality this blade is, and it's fun to cut up stuff and sharpen. So when I do this knife, there's a lot of data, and when I do the conversions with my thin cardboard and the standard cardboard that people cut with, which is 32-pound crush weight, I have a rough idea of what I should be able to do with this thin cardboard, and that just gives me a comparison to say that my test is somewhat valid in comparison. It's not going to be exact, but like I say, not very scientific. I just like to cut cardboards and sharpen knives. That's 15 boards, 16 boards. So we're probably halfway there. Honestly, give you some, it's getting hot. It feels, and this happens, like it's getting sharper for a little bit, and that happens because of the abrasives. So sometimes it'll wear it down, and then with the abrasives it'll tune it up on its own for just a little bit, but eventually won't be able to cut paper. And I'm not even going to test that just yet. Just based on the way it's cutting right now and where the other ones landed, so. We're gonna pause this just for a second. All right, we're back. Add a little bit more tape. This is awesome. Doing pretty good. We'll do a little example of the cut test for the paper. Just take it on the edge and do the same motion. And I'm making cuts so the edge is still cutting paper. Now when I'm done with this test, I won't be able to reliably do that. Still be sharp, I'll still be able to cut cardboard, but you have to call it at a certain point to where you want to stop it so you can bring this edge back on a strop. The whole point of this is to not have to sharpen it again. You could not cut paper, but I could bring that back on a strop and then keep cutting even more. So that's the idea. I did 19 on that one. So I'm gonna go do 15 on this one. Again, I have no idea where this is gonna land. did 15 on that one because I did 19 on the other. This is number 23. We do 8 cuts, and that will match the 14C28N. It should do that because it has better head retention, but you never know. I'll check it after the 8 cuts just to verify, just because. That was 8 cuts. Again, this is just to verify that it's still cutting. We got this right here, and it is. That's all I need to know. 8, we finish this board. Officially past the 300-foot mark. It's doing pretty good. Got this much cardboard left. Well, I got more than that, but hopefully it makes it through this. Just as a point of reference, the 20 CV Kershaw. Did 35 boards, which was 446 feet, 0.25. Chugging along. I'll 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. My hand is actually feeling pretty good. After I did all those other 2 yesterday and my hand was kind of tired. This is very comfortable. I know I'm wasting a bunch, but it's hard to hold this and cut, so that's why I'm leaving this amount. I do what I want. I know it's a waste, but alright, we gotta do an edge test. Actually, I'm gonna do it after this board. This will make an even 30. And just based on the way it's cutting, whatever. Alright, see if it'll still cut paper. This is 5 boards behind the 20 CV, so it should be getting close. See how reliable this is. Still cutting. Not bad. This is gonna pass 20 CV, I think. Which just means that the heat treat was really good, the edge was really good, the geometry of this knife is even better than the geometry of this knife. And the DPS on this is 15 degrees per side, so I'm sharpening, yeah. You got it. I'm gonna do one more cut on that. Went out the side twice, so just to make it honest. We are definitely gonna equal 20 CV, which I had a suspicion that it would. Magnacut does really well through cardboard. I gotta do one more cut. Went off the side twice again. I'm gonna go ahead and do another edge test just because we're getting close and I don't wanna still cutting. Check the tape here. I might run out of cardboard. This is getting crazy. Two more boards and this will equal the 20 CV. I make it through this. It still cuts paper. This passes the 20 CV, which is pretty exciting. That's exciting. Alright, edge test. Oh, still cuts. Pretty smooth, actually. That was 35 boards for total. That's 446.25 feet so far. For this very thin cardboard, but again, this measures up with all the other tests with the slightly thicker cardboard, 32-pound crush weight. So when you crunch the numbers percentage-wise, all that crap. I don't know if you saw that, but like I was telling you earlier, sometimes that gunk, the glue inside here, builds up on here. As soon as you wipe that away, just start cutting clean again. Go a couple more boards, and look, 3 more boards. That's that whole stack. Luckily, I've got some more, because I think I'm going to need it. And we're at 33 minutes. This is number 39 board. Board number 40, and I'm going to pause it after this real quick, and I'll be right back. That was 17. That was 40 boards. I'm gonna have to, I think I'm gonna run out of boards. Maybe, let's do this cut test. Holy crap. This thing is killing it. I don't think I have enough boards. Hold on a second, I'm gonna pause this. So we're at 510 feet right now. Might have to pick up some of those smaller ones or just continue this test later if I run out. Gonna make it through this whole stack, I think. That was it. Holy crap. So just so you know, this 20 CV, the other tests that I confirmed with, tells me this was a really good done heat treated knife, so, and the edge was really good and it cut that, so this knife's doing really well. That's what I'm saying. I added one more. I'm not gonna test it. Keep going. Had to do an extra cut on that one. That's 45 boards. Still cutting. Oh, this is a lot longer than I thought it was going to go, or this video and the knife. Wasn't sure. Okay, I have 2 boards left. I do an extra cut. Well, that's 48 boards. Hold on. That's 612 feet so far. And I'm out of cardboard. Let me check the test. because I'm gonna have to resume this, I think. It's still cut. Yeah, so there you go. Magnacut is a cardboard killer.